Hello and welcome to this week's Real Estate Report on the Finance News Network. I'm Melissa Beaumont-Lee. This week we continue our series looking at suburbs with the most affordable median prices in 2010, with a focus on two suburbs in Queensland. We speak with Chris Gray, CEO of Empire Property Consultancy and host of Your Money, Your Call on Sky News Business, about the dangers of over or undercapitalising. And in our tax tip, we look at the capital gains tax implications of having a different home from your spouse. But first, let's catch up on the latest property news with Lelda Smits.
The Reserve Bank of Australia's April monetary policy meeting minutes noted that conditions in the Australian housing market remain subdued. Last month, the Reserve Bank kept the nation's rates on hold at 4.75% and indicated that they are unlikely to hike rates at least for the next few months. A welcome reprieve for the housing industry for, at the same time, the latest Housing Industry Association API Data quarterly land report revealed a fall in transaction volumes on higher prices for residential land. But in some good news for property investors, API Data reports capital city rents have increased at an average of 6.2% for houses and 6.7% for units in the 5 years to February 2011.
This week we continue our series looking at suburbs with the most affordable median prices in 2010, with a focus on two suburbs in Queensland. First, let's look at Russell Island, a suburb located 57 kilometres southeast of Brisbane's Central Business District. With a population of 1,779 in the last census, it's the largest of the southern Moreton Bay Islands between the mainland and North Stradbroke Island. The island is 8 kilometres long and 3 kilometres wide. It has its own police station, supermarket, service station and bottle shop, as well as other services. Regular fast ferries and barges take passengers to the mainland at Redland Bay. There are 4 real estate agents on the island specialising in local sales. Vacant land is for sale and many of the houses boast water views. There's a mix of classic Queenslanders and more modern homes. Turning to the figures. Houses in Russell Island recorded the capital's most affordable median price in 2010 of $225,000. 68 properties were sold in the year. Our next suburb is Dinmore, located 31 kilometres southwest of Brisbane CBD. With a population of 897 in the last census, Dinmore was partially affected by the flooding in January of this year, mainly along the Warrego Highway, the northern border of the suburb. Dinmore is known as the gateway to the city of Ipswich. The suburb's also the entrance to Brisbane from the west. Brisbane Road, running through the suburb, has a few shops and restaurants, and despite not being too far from the city, Dinmore still has the feel of a rural suburb. Dinmore Railway Station services the area. There's a small selection of 3 and 4 bedroom new brick homes for sale and vacant land. Turning to the figures, houses in Dinmore recorded the capital's second most affordable median price in 2010 of $240,000. 11 properties were sold in the year. Let's now turn to our interview. This week we speak with Chris Gray, CEO of Empire Property Consultancy and host of Your Money, Your Call on Sky News Business, about the dangers of over or undercapitalising.
It's really important to really plan your renovation because there's a lot of money involved in that renovation and on the investment as well. And the danger is if you get it wrong, then either you undercapitalise or you overcapitalise, and both things means you're wasting money. The easiest place to get advice about undercapitalising or overcapitalising is quite often your local real estate agent, your property manager, and typically your valuer as well. So the valuer is going to look at it from a bank's perspective, what's going to add value, what's not. The agent's going to give you more of an idea of what people are looking for in that area at that specific time. So certain types of styles, do they want kitchen walls and lounge walls open, or do they want them nice and closed and have them as separate rooms? And then I guess the property manager, he's really going to give you advice about what tenants really want. And so it's by merging all of those 3 kind of advice givers that will then dictate what you should be doing and how much you should be spending.
And now to the tax tip of the week from Depreciator, the tax depreciation schedule specialists. This week we take a look at the capital gains tax implications of having a different home from your spouse. If you and your spouse have different homes for a period, you must either choose one of the homes as the main residence for you both, or nominate different homes for the period. If you nominate different homes and you own 50% or less, you qualify for an exemption for your share. If you own more than 50%, your share is exempt for half the period you and your spouse had different homes. The same applies to your spouse. This rule applies to each home spouses own, whether they have sole ownership or own the home jointly. For case studies, please visit the ATO website. As always, do remember to consult with a tax accountant or tax professional before making any tax-related decisions. And that's the Real Estate Report for Monday the 2nd of May. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Beaumont-Lee for the Finance News Network.